All right. First things first, I'm going to react to this video of Dunkey reviewing Bayonetta 3 because you already know, like, I did my whole reaction video to like the trailer, all that, in a while back. You know, I'll put the clip of that right now in the video, and yeah. So I'm gonna react to that first. Then I'm going to finish my playthrough of Resident Evil Village, Shadows Rose DLC. That's next. Then, because it is literally November 8th, 2022, meaning that something special is coming out in a few hours. That thing being God of War Ragnarok. you already know. I'm gonna play that. You feel me? And like start getting those videos ready to do the walkthrough. What am I talking about? I'm obviously talking about my gaming channel. If you're not tuned in, tune in. You feel me? The link to that will be in the description below as well. Anyways, you will not tune Moon beat the content coming soon. Like I said before already, I'm gonna react to this video. So let's get into it. What?
Platinum Games has done a lot of good games like Mad World on the Wii, Metal Gear Rated, Nier Auto Racing, and The 100 Wonderful Men. But for my money, the best game they ever did was Devil May Cry 5. And what's messed up about me saying that is
that fucking jabate he just did. Like I literally thought he was gonna say Bayonetta, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Devil May Cry 5 is good. It is good. I ain't gonna lie, it's good.
that they didn't actually make that game. Bayonetta is the game that put Platinum on the map. Directed by Hideki Kamiya, who did the original Devil May Cry, it was the spiritual successor that stomped on the original. 11 years later, now it's Bayonetta that could learn a couple things from its progenitor. Bayonetta 3 has some of the craziest shit ever in a Platinum game, which is saying a lot. You do a naked dance on top of a spider who is crawling over skyscrapers. You battle a werewolf in Paris and summon a giant frog with boobies that can make it rain blood by singing, and play as a giant rainbow cat digging for water in ancient Egypt. At one point, Bayonetta gains the ability to turn into a fucking choo-choo train. But sadly, Bayonetta 3's greatest achievement is how it takes such creative ideas and makes them boring, with Michael Bayonetta.
What? Boring? Dunkey, I think you're losing me on this one. I think you're losing me. Hold on. Yeah, I'm hitting the right buttons. But yeah, bro, you losing me. What's up? Like, what's your temp?
Style storytelling. I never go into a Japanese video game expecting the story to make sense, but I do want to be entertained. Bayonetta 3 has the most cutscenes of any game in the series, but also the least story of any game in the series. There is a lot of punching and explosions, but very little levity or characterization or twists. In this one, Bayonetta goes into
Actually, no. He is right. He's right. God, I do remember playing Bayonetta 3. Oh yeah, by the way, I did beat the game. Hold on. I did beat the game, and am I pressing the right buttons? Look at me, I'm like pressing all kinds of shit. There we go. Yeah, fuck. I did beat Bayonetta 3, and I do remember hold on. Oh, give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Oh, so yeah, so I did beat I did beat Bayonetta 3. I'm on my second playthrough, and I do remember like one of the thoughts that did pop in my head was I was dead like, I kind of missed how Bayonetta used to like, I don't know, like there was a thing in Bayonetta 2. I played Bayonetta 2 so much, you have no idea. But I remember like in like the scenes in Bayonetta 2, I remember going like, oh, like Bayonetta has moments of vulnerability and like moments of like uncertainty, you know what I'm saying? Like for a character who, you know, on like the quickest glance you would be like, oh, like, you know, she's so what's the word, like perfect, and you know, like she can do everything and all this other stuff, and then like they have these moments of like vulnerability and like yeah, uncertainty, and maybe even like bits of like what's the word, like kind of like insecurity as far as like her abilities. I was like, that was cool to see, like just kind of like poke through in those scenes of Bayonetta, especially Bayonetta 2. So like when I played this game, I was like, I didn't get that. Not that I thought that was a problem, but I mean like thinking that back then and then like seeing this now, I'm like, yeah, I get where Dunkey's coming from, 100%. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not expecting that. I mean, like it was cool when I saw it in Bayonetta 2, but I was like, like I don't know, like cause I don't even know if we got much of that in the first Bayonetta. To be honest, like I feel like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say I feel like maybe like that came out towards the end for obvious reasons. If you know what happens at the end, then you know. But like, if not, then you just gotta have to either play the game yourself or be like one of those people who just watch a whole walkthrough on YouTube to know what I'm talking about. But anyways, back to this review.
Multiverse like Spider-Man, except this time it's fucking boring. Each universe has its own Bayonetta, except you don't ever talk to them. They just show up and die, and then you fight the green Gloober monster in every dimension. The storyline is that Bayonetta has to give 5 orbs to a man, and then she does. I realize I sound insane saying this to people who didn't play the game, but this story takes itself way too seriously. Yes, it has a frog with boobies, but the writers hate that. They reject every fun idea and say, no, this story is about Bayonetta hitting a green guy to get an orb. What's fucked up about this game is that in the cutscenes where you want there to be storytelling, it's nothing but fighting monsters. But in the actual gameplay, where you just want to be fighting monsters, they keep throwing bullshit platforming and gimmicks at you. On paper, it's a neat...
I love that stuff. What? I love that stuff. What? Like, okay, I'll say this. Like, because like Bayonetta is basically a Nintendo exclusive now, I feel like those things kind of like those platforming segments and whatever, like doing all the like the creative shit with the demons, I feel like that fits because it's like, me personally, I always said like, oh, Bayonetta now especially is like a, it's like an M-rated Mario basically. It's just Mario but just with a beautiful witch lady. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? With guns and shit. Like, so I mean like those moments kind of tracked for me, and felt like it gave the game more, what's the word? Variety. Because I mean like you're already playing this Bayonetta, which is something you've done in the last last 2 games, and now this one. You're also playing as like John and like those cool little like almost like Metroid Metal Gear Solid-esque missions, which is really nice. And then you're also playing as Viola, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like she got her own like fight style and everything like that. Like the game had a whole bunch of, you know, like variety to it. So it's like, I get where Dunkey's coming from, but at the same time I'm like, this game isn't as boring as what he's saying. I feel personally, I get where he's coming from, but I disagree. Matter of fact, I always feel like when people say I get where you're coming from, they always follow it up with like they disagree. There's never been a single time I heard somebody say, I get where you're coming from, and then just like agree. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always been like, I get where you're coming from, but no, like yeah. Every time. But anyways,
neat idea to break up your game's pacing with a bunch of mini games, but the reality is a lot of these segments are just very sluggish and simplistic brawlers.
Okay, I'll admit this part right here was annoying because it was super slow. Like, I don't know, like the cutscene that sets it up was fun, but actually doing it, like, I don't know, like I would like hit like a button to like attack and it would just be so slow. And then like the enemy I'm fighting, this fucking big, I forgot what the fuck it's called, but it's like I would like be like mid swing for an attack, and then that motherfucker just like will like either block it or like hit me with some shit and like make us like bounce off of each other, pause, and like I don't know, like it's just like I don't know, like they should have sped that up, like made it a little faster. But I mean, like again, I still stick to my original point. Like there's variety behind it. Like I like games that have a lot of variety. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're gonna be like the third installment of like your franchise, then I mean like why the hell not have a lot of shit in it? Why not? I mean like people are not gonna like it, people are gonna like it. I mean, hey, there's 2 Bayonetta games that came before it, so I mean hey, it is what it is.
Which is the complete opposite of the core combat. Now the actual core combat is great.
There we go.
It's fast and smooth, it's intuitive to control with hundreds of flashy combo routes to go down and express yourself. Bayonetta has 8 weapons that she can mix and match with 12 different demons. The possibilities are just insane. And for some chapters, you play as Bayonetta from Overwatch, who has 1 weapon and 1 demon. But he's really funny. As far as I know,
but he's really
3
funny.
is the only game where you can drop a building on a dude mid-combo and the building sprouts arms and starts beating the shit out of people. However, all of this craziness comes at a cost. If Devil May Cry is a game about killing stuff while trying to look badass, Bayonetta 3 is a game about killing stuff while trying to look for your character. Many of the battles in this game are so chaotic and so visually noisy that the camera just gives up. It just says, nope, I'm out. I mean, look at this. What the fuck is happening here? Now look at this.
Okay. Again, I kind of agree with it, because I mean like there do be like a lot of shit that happens on screen, but like from my personal experience, I was able to like maneuver and like know like when to dodge and all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe my eyesight's just like really good or some shit. I don't know. Maybe I have to play the game again to come back to it. I don't know. Like for me, I'm like I didn't have this problem. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on screen, but like it wasn't to the point where I was like, damn, I can't find my character. I don't know.
What am I doing? Who am I? Where am I? Where is Knack? How do I unlock the
Where is Knack
as a playable character? Many times when I was playing this game, I just started slamming buttons and wondered to myself, is this actually what I'm supposed to be doing? And then the game goes,
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
yeah, that was right. Too often, Bayonetta 3 obscures its greatest strengths by trying to be something that it isn't. It has some wonderful music, frantic combat, and some really wacky ideas, but it squanders these elements by shoving them into a story that just doesn't care. I rate Bayonetta 3 3rd place out of all the Bayonettas.
I'm gonna let him slide with that. I'm gonna let him slide. Let me just change this to this. I don't know. The funny thing is, like, playing that game, I'm like, okay, this is the 3rd installment of yet another franchise, whether it's a movie, a game, whatever. Like I feel like every time there's a 3rd installment or something, the 3rd installment always gets the harshest of criticism. Always. It could be movies like, for example, Spider-Man 3 got the harshest criticism. I mean, understandably so, because I mean it was kind of all over the place, but still, like it'll always be like there's the first thing, there's the second thing, which people like love the most for some reason, and then there's the 3rd thing that's like, oh, okay, you're doing too much, you're not as good as the second game, movie, whatever. But again, like I said, like Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi trilogy, you know what I'm saying? Like people were like, oh, Spider-Man 2 was super good, but Spider-Man 3 was it was alright. The Dark Knight trilogy, you know, you had the Dark Knight, you know, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. Everybody loved it. It was the greatest thing in the world. Then The Dark Knight Rises came out and people were like, oh, yeah, it's alright, not as good as Dark Knight, whatever. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Bayonetta 3, doing too much. But Bayonetta 2, great game. Great combat, all this other stuff. Like, every time, bro. Like every time. Rush Hour, you know what I'm saying? Like Rush Hour 2, the greatest movie. Everybody knows about Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 3, oh, they went to France. It's doing too much. It's not as Asian anymore. Da da da. Like it's like, bro, like it's such a consistent take all the time. And I'm just like, I wanna take people's like criticisms and reviews seriously, but at the same time, I'm like, this is such a consistent take amongst every single franchise. I just go like, at this point, I'm just like, I know what you're gonna say. Like, I already went into this video knowing that like Dunkey wasn't gonna like be like, oh, Bayonetta 3 is the greatest Bayonetta game out of all of them. Like, I already knew he was gonna say that. But me, I think it's the greatest. Story wise, gameplay wise, visually, all of that. In my personal opinion. And this game just been out for like what, like a week now, a week or two, something like that. Like it's been some time, but you know, I love it. I love the variety. Dunkey didn't cover the variety like I was hoping he did. Hoping he would, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really like I listen to reviews from time to time, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't like hold reviews to a whole high regard because I'm like, at the end of the day, what I think about this shit matters, not what the fuck IGN or GameSpot or whoever the fuck else got to say. So, still fuck with Dunkey and everything like that. Like, he does have good takes from time to time. A lot of good takes, actually. But this one time, I'm like, gotta disagree, bro. Gotta disagree. But anyways, that is my reaction to Dunkey's video. You know what I'm saying? Cooking up some stuff on the gaming channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you know, ironic that I'm like, you know, reacting to a review of a video game and I'm talking about my gaming shit. But anyways, yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like, the gaming channel is going to, like, the link to that channel is going to be in the link below. I am currently finishing up Resident Evil Village, Shadows of Rose, you know what I'm saying? The DLC, I mean. And then, you know, God of War comes out tonight. By the time y'all see this, like, it's gonna be already out. Y'all probably gonna be seeing that shit on YouTube and all that other stuff. But, you know, in the midst of you seeing all that stuff from other people like the Rad Brad, Tetra Ninja, whoever else, be sure to stop by my channel, my gaming channel, so you can see my playthrough of it. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, my reaction and all that stuff is gonna be unique, I feel. So hey, if you can't stop by, do so. You feel me? But that's all I got for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I'm trying to put out more videos for this channel, but you know, things happen. I'm like trying to be all over the place at once, but you know, I'm working through it. You know, things are gonna get better. And yeah, you know, I'll see you when I see you. Peace. Love y'all.